Beloved child, listen gently. The one your soul is meant to unite with is already alive and walking toward you. This isn't a distant dream or a comforting idea. It's a real path that heaven is unfolding. What felt like delay was preparation. What felt like silence was alignment. And the moment you opened this message, heaven whispered, "Now." This is not magic. It's not wishful thinking. It's the quiet confirmation that you are not forgotten. You are being guided. You didn't know how this would begin, but you've sensed it. Subtle shifts in your spirit. A soft resistance to what once satisfied you. You've become quieter inside, more honest with yourself, less willing to pretend. You stopped chasing noise and started listening for peace. That's not random. That's direction. Your soul has already been responding to a pull, not from people, but from above. So much has fallen away. Places, habits, connections that once felt familiar began to fade, not because you're lost, but because you're clearing space. Heaven never sends the true into a crowded room. You're not losing. You're making room for what lasts, for something that doesn't need to be forced, for something you don't have to perform to keep, for something real. If something within you is responding right now, don't ignore it. Write this: I am waiting for what heaven is also waiting to give. This is not just a phrase, it's agreement. When your heart says yes, even quietly, everything begins to move. What's coming doesn't need to be chased. It's drawn to who you've become. And you're ready. Not perfect, but prepared. You've tried to picture them. The one meant to walk beside you. You've imagined their voice, their energy, the moment your paths would cross. Maybe you thought you already met them once, only to feel something missing. That doesn't mean you were wrong. It means your heart is deeper than your expectations. What heaven sends often doesn't arrive in the packaging you planned for. It arrives real, not loud, but true. You may have thought you'd recognize them by sparks or butterflies, by a wave of emotions you couldn't explain, but heaven wants to show you something different. This person will not stir chaos in your chest, they will calm it. They won't shake your world, they will steady it. When they speak, your heart won't race, it will rest. You'll feel clarity, not confusion, familiarity, not intensity, and you'll know this is not attraction, this is recognition. That's why you walk through certain heartbreaks. Not to be broken, but to be refined. You had to let go of what looked right, but wasn't. You had to learn that peace is not boring. It's sacred. You had to unlearn the idea that love must be earned or dramatic to be real. What's coming doesn't need to be proven. It just needs to be received. And you're finally able to receive. Say this to your spirit: I'm ready to recognize truth, not chase excitement. Let this be your compass. Because if you only look with your eyes, you might miss it. But if you let your soul speak first, you'll find what was meant for you. It's not a fantasy, it's alignment. And it's already making its way toward you. There were moments when you thought you missed it. That love passed you by. That someone else got there first, and you were simply too late. You looked at your past and wondered if the window had already closed. But heaven doesn't operate on missed chances. It works through perfect preparation. You weren't forgotten. You were being formed, not for fantasy, but for something lasting. Heaven wasn't punishing you with silence. It was protecting you. It hid you from the ones who couldn't hold your truth, who would have misunderstood your depth, who weren't equipped to love you well. The quiet seasons weren't punishment. They were covering. Your sensitivity, your longing, your ache, all of it was sacred space being guarded for the one who would see it clearly and stay. People left. Promises faded. Plans fell through. It hurt, but none of it was wasted. Each closed door carved a clearer path toward what's true. Every disappointment created room, not emptiness, but availability. You weren't being rejected. You were being refined. And now, without even realizing it, you've become the version of yourself that can hold what's holy without fear. If you're tired, rest, but don't give up. The ache isn't the end of your story. Say this gently: I'm still open to what belongs to me. That's all it takes. Not effort, not striving, just agreement. Because readiness is not perfection, it's willingness. And right now, you're more ready than you know. You may have grown used to love that came in waves, intense, uncertain, hard to hold. Love that made you question your worth, that felt like a performance you had to keep up. Maybe you thought love was supposed to hurt a little, that it had to come with sacrifice, tension, and a touch of fear. But what's coming is not like that. It won't confuse you. It won't leave you guessing. It will feel like breathing after holding your breath too long. This connection won't demand your silence or your explanation. It won't ask you to hide your feelings or shrink your heart to fit. You won't have to prove anything to be chosen. You'll be known, not for your image, but for your essence. And you'll feel it instantly. The weight will lift. The pressure will fade. You'll still be fully yourself, only lighter, only freer. You've mistaken passion for connection before, confusion for depth. You were taught that love must be dramatic to be real, but it's time to release that idea. Because the kind of love that's coming doesn't burn, it warms. It doesn't rush in, it arrives steady. It doesn't demand, it honors. And when you experience it, you won't feel overwhelmed. You'll feel safe. Say this now. I'm ready to know love that doesn't hurt. Not because love is easy, but because it's sacred. Because the real thing won't exhaust you. It will restore you. And you won't have to wonder if it's right. Your soul will know. Your body will relax. Your heart will stop bracing. And you'll realize this is what you were made for. You might be waiting for something loud. A vision, a voice, a clear signal that heaven is moving. But the truth is, the signs have already started. They're in the small shifts, the unexpected invitations, the moments that feel strangely aligned, the quiet sense that you're being drawn somewhere unfamiliar but meaningful. This is not coincidence. It's the beginning of divine coordination. Sometimes it looks like a name you keep hearing, a place you feel nudged to go. A conversation that lingers in your spirit longer than it should. You may not know why yet, but something deeper does. These are not distractions, they're preparations. Heaven rarely works through spectacle, it speaks through whispers, and right now, it's speaking. You're not being teased, you're being led. Trust the strange pull. The moment you begin to notice patterns, don't dismiss them. You're not imagining it. Your spirit is responding to a frequency beyond logic, and when you lean into those nudges, not with fear, but with faith, you'll begin to walk in the rhythm that was always designed for you. Every step matters, even the ones that feel too quiet to count. Say this to your heart. I will follow even when I don't fully understand. Because faith isn't always about certainty. Sometimes it's about movement. About showing up before the reason is clear. And when you do, heaven meets you there. Not in the spotlight, but in the alignment. And slowly, step by step, the path becomes undeniable. While you were praying for someone who would see you, someone else was praying for someone who feels like home. While you were asking for realness, for depth, for a safe place to rest, another soul was doing the same. You haven't been waiting alone. You haven't been the only one dreaming of something sacred. What's been stirring in your heart has been stirring in theirs too. This desire for connection isn't a flaw. It's not too much. It's not a weakness. It's proof that you're aligned with something real, something already written. Your sensitivity, your hope, your unwillingness to settle for surface love. All of it has meaning. And the one who's on the way. They carry that same echo, not to complete you, but to meet you, to recognize in you what they've been waiting for too. Maybe you've hidden how much you long for this. Maybe you've tried to numb it, distract it, push it aside, but your soul won't forget what it was built to hold. And when you meet someone who doesn't flinch at your depth, who doesn't need you to shrink, you'll remember, you'll know. Because the right heart doesn't need performance. It wants presence. Say this softly. I believe someone has been waiting for me too. It's not just hope, it's resonance. The kind that pulls two people toward each other across time, distance, even silence. What's meant for you has been moving in your direction, just as you've been moving toward it. And very soon, the two paths will finally touch. You know what it's like to be half seen, to have people notice parts of you while overlooking what really matters. You've felt what it's like to give more than you received, to be there without being fully met. You've carried conversations, held silence, made space for others without asking for much in return. But this time, it won't feel like striving. It won't feel uneven. This time, it will feel mutual. The one who's coming won't ask you to explain yourself constantly. You won't feel like you have to tone down, fit in, or perform emotional gymnastics just to be accepted. You won't walk on eggshells. You'll walk in freedom. There will be a steady presence where there used to be doubt, a sense of "I'm seen" where there used to be guessing, and you'll feel a peace you didn't think was possible. This kind of connection doesn't show up when you're desperate. It shows up when you're grounded, and that's exactly where you are now. Not desperate, ready, not grasping, aligned. You've done the inner work, cleared the noise, and now what's coming will match the clarity you fought to hold on to. It will reflect your growth, not your fears. Say this quietly. I'm ready for love that feels safe, not small. Because real love doesn't ask you to shrink. It meets you at your full size, and stays. It doesn't pull away when it sees your depths. It leans closer. This time, you won't lose yourself in connection. You'll find more of who you are, and that's how you'll know it's real. You've been told you're too much. Too emotional, too intense, too sensitive. So you learn to tuck parts of yourself away, the parts that felt too big, too tender, too complicated. You made yourself smaller to fit spaces that were never meant for you. But now, you're being invited into something where none of that hiding is needed. Your depth isn't a problem, it's a doorway, and the one who's coming, they won't run from it. They'll recognize it. You've been the safe place for others, the quiet strength, the soft landing, the one who listened when no one else did. But deep down, you've longed for someone who can offer that same presence back to you. Not out of obligation, but out of understanding. Not because they need you to be okay, but because they've done their own work too, and they know what it means to truly see someone. You don't need to manage every feeling before it surfaces. You don't need to wrap your emotions in silence so they don't feel like a burden. The right person won't flinch when you open up. They'll lean in. They'll honor the weight you carry, not try to fix you. Just stand beside you while you breathe through it. Say these words with kindness. I no longer fear being fully myself. You don't have to hide to be loved. The person who's coming isn't searching for ease. They're searching for honesty. And when you show up as you are, you won't be too much. You'll be just enough. And exactly what they've been waiting for. The one who's coming won't bring chaos. They won't show up loud, hot, and uncertain, only to disappear when things get real. Their presence will feel like stillness, like a room with the windows open, full of quiet air. When they speak, your mind won't race. Your body won't brace. Instead, something inside you will say, finally. Not because they'll fix everything, but because they'll stay through everything. You won't have to wonder where you stand. You won't spend nights decoding silence or second-guessing your worth. They'll be clear. Not because they're perfect, but because they've chosen honesty, because they've chosen you, and that choosing won't feel like pressure. It'll feel like peace. The kind of peace you didn't think was possible between two people. The kind that says, you're safe here. They won't ask you to hide your scars. They'll honor the story that shaped them. They won't avoid the moments when you're vulnerable. They'll step closer. You'll feel seen, not examined, supported, not solved. It won't be about intensity. It will be about presence. They'll be the kind of love that doesn't demand more than you have, just welcomes all that you are. Say this to your soul. I'm ready for love that brings peace, not panic. Let that truth settle, because love that steadies you doesn't mean it's boring. It means it's strong, and when it comes, it won't shake the foundation. It will be the foundation, one that can carry both of you without fear of falling. Lately, you've noticed a quiet shift, not dramatic, but undeniable. Things that once satisfied now feel hollow. Certain conversations don't hold your attention like they used to. Places that felt comfortable now seem too small. It's not confusion, it's clarity. Your spirit is shedding what no longer matches your future. You're not falling apart, you're aligning. You've started saying no to things you used to tolerate. Not out of pride, but out of honesty. You've stopped explaining your heart to those who don't listen. You're not retreating, you're refining. What looks like distance is actually direction. And though it may feel lonely at times, that quiet space is where everything real begins to grow. You're being prepared, not punished. This shift isn't pushing people away. It's making space for the right one to arrive. The one who doesn't require you to dim your light. The one who meets you in truth, not performance. The one who matches your pace because they've been walking their own path of preparation too. Whisper this to yourself. I trust the changes happening inside me. Because transformation isn't always visible. Sometimes it's the invisible shedding that makes the clearest path. What's being formed in you is the very thing that will attract what's meant for you. You're not waiting in vain. You're being made ready. And that readiness is speaking louder than you realize. You may think all you've been seeking is someone to love and be loved by. But what heaven is orchestrating is far more than companionship. This connection will not only bring warmth to your heart, it will bring clarity to your path. It will not only comfort your present, it will unlock your future, because some relationships are not just emotional, they are transformational. The one who's coming isn't just meant to hold your hand, they're meant to walk beside your purpose. This is someone who won't be intimidated by your vision, your calling, your depth. Instead, they'll make room for it, they'll honor it, they'll challenge and stretch you, not to control, but to grow. And in return, you'll see how your presence strengthens them too. It will be mutual, sacred, strong. There will be moments when you realize this isn't just a relationship, it's a turning point. The pieces of your life that once felt scattered will begin to connect. Ideas you once doubted will feel alive again. Dreams you put down will quietly rise. This union will not drown your identity. It will reveal more of it. You'll finally understand why certain things never worked before. They weren't meant for who you're becoming. Say this with quiet confidence. I'm ready for connection that brings clarity and calling. Because the love that's coming doesn't just fill space, it opens doors. And what begins as two hearts finding each other will become a shared path, a shared fire, a shared purpose. This isn't just about how you feel. It's about who you become, together.